Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm Tony Savoy. I run an offering management practice at IBM. We're going to talk to you today about some pretty interesting capabilities that IBM has around network orchestration and automation. So let's just delve directly in. So let's talk a little bit about where we are. So the industry is at a pretty interesting place right now. If you rewind the clock about 10 years ago, we're at about the same place on the network side where compute was about 10 years ago, meaning virtualization on the server side finally got to a very mature state. The APIs were in place. The software was solid. Companies were starting to adopt server virtualization at a very rapid pace, right? Well, only within the last roughly about 3.5, 4 years, virtual networking has finally reached that exact same place to where software-defined everything is now becoming the new network, becoming the new cloud, right? Software virtualization, network virtualization is becoming the new cloud. The maturity levels inside of network virtualization are at an all-time high right now. Customers are beginning to adopt network virtualization at an extremely rapid pace. So the time is ripe for the services that we're about to talk about right now. Companies are rapidly trying to move away from the traditional methods of networking, the appliance-based, your Cisco routers and switches, cabling and racking things inside of the data center. Just the speed of doing that is so slow. You cannot move at the pace that your business needs to move. So companies right now are very hardware-centric. The way that they provision their network devices tends to be very manual. These are very closed systems. It's proprietary to whichever vendor you're trying to go use inside of your network. And then your ability to manage these things tends to be very reactive. Yes, there are companies that are doing automation with scripting, but that scripting is generally native to whatever appliance is that they're trying to talk to. Where clients are trying to get to is more of a cloud-enabled network environment for their business. Not only inside of the data center, but inside of their local area networks, as well as with their wide area networks, right? SD-WAN is the kind of new buzz in the industry that companies are trying to figure out how to go take advantage of. Because what companies are really trying to do is they're trying to get away from an infrastructure-centric business and move more to a business outcome application-driven business. This means that you need to be able to manage, migrate, and modify your network at the same pace you can do on the developer side of your application stacks, right? This is where IBM can help. We have 5 very simple guiding principles that we use in our network as a service practice. First is we take a very consultative partner approach, but the unique thing about this is IBM is vendor neutral. We're not specific to any one given technology. Most of our customers that we do business with in the network virtualization space are looking for the right device for the right job. That generally means that you need to leverage a multitude of different appliances from many different manufacturers, right? You may have certain security-specific appliances to do specific security functions. You might have specific routing capabilities that you run inside of your data center. You may have network acceleration that you want to run across your branch offices, right? You're going to likely pick a whole bunch of different vendors to go do that. IBM can help you find which vendors are the right fit for the job that you want to run inside of your network. Not only on-prem, but also in a hybrid network as you begin to move your workloads into the public cloud. We also have this concept built into our network as a service practice, which is a risk mitigation program. IBM can provide extra service that some of these technology partners maybe are not able to provide you as a customer of IBM. Meaning, as long as we certify a particular appliance to run in our network virtualization and orchestration program and our support services, we will bear the risk on your behalf, so you don't have to worry about the vulnerability of that particular OEM provider. And the way that we go about these services is we help you. I'll talk a little bit here about the garage method approach we use to help our customers take advantage of some of these capabilities and move to more of a software-defined networking practice. But we really participate in an integrated partnership. This means that we sit down with your staff, We bring our experts to the table. We understand your pain points, where you are now, where you want to go. We do design thinking workshops to kind of map out your entire network topology and help you plot the course on where you want to go with your network virtualization. We do that, and we do that combined as kind of one IBM team, an extension of your organization. And then the incentive alignment program. I use this because we need to ensure that when we help you move your workloads to a software-defined set of capabilities, that we do it cloud-like, which means taking a lot of these network appliances, the automation, the orchestration, and offering it to you in a subscription-based model, right? So if you're deploying network assets in a branch office, that branch office, you spin it off in an acquisition, you want to pull those things off, our subscription-based model and our software-defined networking management program, that's a pay-as-you-go type program. We'll work with you on those particular programs, but also work with you to establish the business outcomes you want in your software-defined networks, in your hybrid networks, to develop the proper SLAs that IBM will back and help you as we help manage those infrastructure stacks on your behalf. And then I'll talk a little bit about here the kind of intellectual property that's behind the scenes of all this network automation and orchestration. We have the Cloud Network Intelligent Control Center that comes along with our Network as a Service program, which we use as the backdrop for everything we do around this software-defined networking program. I'll get to that here in just a second. So a few years ago, software-defined data centers was the buzzword, right? Now it's software-defined networking for everything. It's your local area networks. It's your SD-WAN if you want to move down that path. It's also the virtualization in your data center. But more importantly, it's the orchestration of all elements across all three of those stacks to not only help you move to network virtualization, but transform your business across this entire ecosystem as you move down that particular path, and IBM can help you with those capabilities. So the way that we do it, the approach that we use with you is we sit down, we do a workshop. These are multiple day workshops. We call it the garage method. Think of it as an agile development methodology where we bring our smart people, you bring your smart people. We sit down, understand all of your pain points, whiteboard it, do storyboards, do stories, and design what this architecture is going to look like for you once we actually go implement it. And then plot the course on helping you go take your legacy network environment and move those environments into more of a network-defined approach. We use design thinking. It's a concept widely used at IBM to go through innovation concepts. So it's not just about moving you to a software-defined network. It's what do you want to do with those capabilities once you've achieved the migration to a software-defined network? How do you want to modify your change management practices? How do you want to innovate and test lifecycle management within your network with new capabilities? We plot the course for all those capabilities so that when we would design the program for releasing your capabilities to market, you're primed for those innovation concepts further on down the road. That's all done through the Network Innovation IBM Garage method. So when you actually get to a fully automated and orchestrated software-defined network, there's some very interesting things and advantages you gain by going down this path. One is you don't have to worry about vendor lock-in, right? If you're a Cisco shop, this is no offense to anybody that maybe worked for Cisco, I was just using this as an example. If you're a Cisco shop, sometimes you have to do all things Cisco, right? Yes, you can integrate other networking components inside of your network, but you're generally having to automate and orchestrate against the Cisco IOS, right? But what you really want to do is you want to automate across a vast array of different networking devices inside of your topology. That means that you need orchestration that is vendor agnostic, which I talked about before. I'll show you a little bit here in a minute how we help with some of the things in our command center, or sorry, our control center. But also giving you self-service capabilities. The same things you can do in AWS with the compute stack. Do the same things with the network stack. So we have some intuitive intellectual property about GUI-based design inside of our network virtualization and automation program, where you can actually introduce network changes to your environment by drag and drop. You can test those scenarios. If they don't work, you can roll them back quickly because we just unravel the API calls that we made to go implement those networking capabilities and changes in real time, but there's rollback capabilities. And really, once you move to a network-defined environment, virtual network-defined environment, you reduce your time to market. You have productivity changes for your networking staff. You can develop patterns for deployment methods, so you don't have to do things with snowflakes every time you deploy your network stacks inside of your environment. You can all do it with logic-based deployments. And really, at the end of the day, when you use pattern-based deployment methodologies and orchestration, you improve the quality of your network because you're taking the human intervention out of that deployment and change management methodology. You're doing it with code, adopting the same principles that people are doing with cloud-native deployments, container-based strategies. You're now adopting those methodologies and leveraging them in your virtual network. So the heart of IBM's network as a service capability is this intelligent control center. The interesting thing about this particular technology, this is all intellectual property developed from IBM. You can't get it anywhere else outside of IBM. But it's, again, vendor agnostic. As long as the devices that are inside your network are part of our supported set of capabilities, we can manage everything through our particular consoles. All of the automation, all of the orchestration, all of the design elements are done inside of our portal. And it can be done in a hybrid scenario, right? It's not just AWS, it's AWS connecting with your on-prem workloads, connecting with your local area networks, and maybe you're at other cloud providers as well. It can orchestrate and automate the entire network chain across all of those environments. But backed behind the Intelligent Control Center is IBM Watson. IBM Watson is our analytic capabilities, has artificial intelligence built in. It helps you predict failures in your network so you can remediate problems before they happen. Because of all the data feeds from the network devices into our analytics systems, we can look at all the trending patterns. We look at failures that take place across your entire estate and begin to surface when things may begin to happen in other places within your network. And then self-healing then becomes an interesting construct once you have that AI engine built in. So when you have patterns for return to service in your virtualization network, we can automatically go heal those capabilities on your behalf. This is really what amplifies and speeds up the productivity of your IT staff, so you can begin to take those time savings and begin to go reinvest those things back in your business to do more innovative concepts. All these things are provided by IBM in the Intelligent Control Center when you buy the service from IBM. Let me just kind of finish up on a bit of a use case. This is a particular customer. It was an interesting use case. This is a very large bottling company. May or may not be some of their drinks on the expo floor. IBM does business with many large bottling companies. This particular company contacted IBM. They were going through a network transformation. They were actually going through your traditional upgrade the physical network topology while they decided to test out some of these network virtualization capabilities. They found that by doing these things in parallel, the virtualization deployment actually helped them streamline and move their upgrade of their entire network by up to 30%. It increased their time to roll out their network modification program by orders of magnitude. They decided to completely stop their physical upgrade path for all their network devices and replace their entire network stack 100% virtual. And by doing this, they were able to modernize not only their data center through SD and their wide area network capabilities through SD-WAN. These bottling companies have many bottling plants globally dispersed, right? This bottling company is no exception. So by by implementing software-defined networking and SD-WAN across all their bottling plants, they were able to stitch these entire bottling organizations together as what appears to be one complete network cloud, if you will. So now they're able to automate and orchestrate all their network devices and changes across all of their bottling plants. And really what it did for them, Yes, it made them move faster in their upgrade path, but now the productivity gains by going pure virtual allows them to go reinvest their time and their energy back into the bottling plant and go extend additional virtualization capabilities elsewhere inside of their organization. IBM is also providing full managed services support for this entire network topology for this organization. Many companies like to outsource their network environments to IBM, so we can act and perform on those capabilities on your behalf. So again, your IT staff go back and do the more important things for your particular business. So why IBM for your network virtualization? Again, our depth and skills are unmatched in the industry around these types of environments. We've been in the IT outsourcing business for a very long time. We've helped our customers transform their networks, very, very, very complex networks, over the last 30 or 40 years. Obviously, the cloud affords us new capabilities, and now this new network virtualization capability and orchestration makes it that much easier for us to do these things on your behalf. We can help you accelerate the deployment of your network environments through this automation and the network virtualization capabilities upwards of 50%. That's massive. Some of these network upgrades can take you months, years. Accelerating those with network virtualization is very prominent here. Faster application deployment is actually probably the most important thing, right? So again, when you begin to move the network at the same time you're deploying your applications, and you do that in a consistent, integrated fashion, you can now implement your applications into your network much faster because the network changes are simplified. They're also orchestrated at the same time that your application rollout schedules are moving into your production deployment. Our customers are seeing up to 20% faster application deployments when they're implementing their application deployment mechanisms with their virtualization on the networking side. And again, when you automate and you move to virtual, the self-healing aspects, the pattern-based deployment methods takes the human error principle out of the equation, allowing you to have more resilient networks across your entire estate. Very important capability that affords you once you move to the network virtualization program with IBM. So that's what I had to say. If you want to learn more about these capabilities, visit our booth. We've got our subject matter experts over there that know way more about networking than I do, that can help answer any of the tough questions you have and develop more time or put more time on the calendar for you to meet some of our other additional network virtualization and orchestration experts. We're at booth 616, just 2 clicks across the way here. So I appreciate your time. Thank you.